Well, hello, friends and neighbors. John, your whiskey neighbor here, and welcome to my deck. It's been a week now since I posted. I'm not on spring break, so I can't post really more than once a week. And I thought today I would take a look at some big bourbons. These are barrel strength or cask strength bourbons. And full disclosure, I like them all. There isn't a bottle up here that I regret having or regret purchasing. I'm a bit of a cask strength, barrel strength fan. I just enjoy the flavors that come out, but got quite a bit of heat about not picking 1920 as my bourbon of the year. Instead, I picked the Old Ezra. So we'll see. This is, I had someone pour them all blind, got some stickers, got the answer key here. So why don't you stay with me? And we'll go through, see what I get, see what I taste out of these 4 cask strength or barrel proof bourbons. So thanks for joining me. I realize I'm not in front of a table, and that would have been better. But just walk you through just briefly. This is Knob Creek, Jim Beam product. It's a single barrel, but not a store pick. This one still has the 9-year-old age stamp, bottled at 120 proof or 60%. The most, actually tied for the most affordable. So it's about under 60 Canadian in my neck of the woods. Next here we've got Old Ezra. This is a sourced bourbon. So the Luxo distillery or Luxo, no, not Luxo, Lux Row, sorry, distillers. They source this. So it isn't from their own, but it is 58.5%. Also carries an age stamp. So this is 9, this is 7. Then we got over to Old Forester. Old Forester, this is Old Forester 1920. It's bottled at 57.5%. No age stamp on this. It's from the Whiskey Row series. It doesn't tell me a bit about the age or the casking, but it is part of the Whiskey Row, distilled apparently in the style that would have been around in 1920. Last one on here is Booker's. Booker's is in my neighborhood, I only get one release per year. So this is 2019-01E. So it is the export market. If it is the same, because, you know, it's 6 years, 3 months, 62.95% alcohol, that's the same as Teresa's batch, 2019-01 in the US. However, even though it's the same age and strength, I feel like somehow that the export is a different bottle. But either way, that's the lineup today. And as I've said, I had someone else pour them blind. I love doing blind taste tests. I haven't done it in a while. I love Bourbon Blind, John there, and Blind Whiskey Review, sorry. And it just hasn't come up for me to do that. So this is my chance to walk through nose and tasting. And everyone does it a little bit differently. Just so you know, I'm going to go through this entirely blind until the reveal. So you won't know either until the end. If you're the kind of person that just needs to know, then maybe down below I'll put a skip ahead time or something when I do the reveal, and you can just jump right to the end and figure out what my preference is. But I'm going to go through nose, I'm going to go through palate, I'm going to rank them in the order that I like them. And then for fun, just to see how bad John is at identifying whiskey, I'm going to try to put nose, palate to bottle. Now, likely, like really likely, I'm going to get a lot of that wrong because some of these, you know, I actually haven't poured for many months. And so it's not like it's something that I'm regularly having and can pick out. Enough talk. Let's get at some of the nosing. So this is blue. Right now, this is little light, some nice spice, some caramel, vanilla. Oh, and a fair amount of alcohol. Let's try red. This is a little richer. Yeah, a little more spicing, a little more cinnamon. Coming back to, just in a quick kind of back and forth, blue has a little more fruiting in it. Let's talk about yellow. Good general profile bourbon. We've got a little corn sweetness, some spicing. Fruits are a little lighter, a little almost yellow, less kind of deep. This nose so far, red. Red is my favorite nose. Blue is, of course, second. So I guess if I'm ranking them by nose, this is how we're starting to queue up. Let's talk about green. Nothing wrong with green, but in comparison, it is actually the most constrained. So, yeah, like none of these are gentle. 60, and they're basically all 60%, a little over, a little under. So, what's nice about this is no harsh alcohols whatsoever. Very nicely put together. Little fruit, little spice. Going to try to random up the order a bit. That is a good nose, that one. Just full, rich. This one's a little sharper. Still pretty good breadth between fruit and spice. Okay, this stays as my least favorite nose. Boy, these are tough. Richest nose by far. By far for me. These are the bookends on nosing. Oh, that one made my mouth water. What a nose. This is good. Good general bourbon nose. I mean, they're all pretty strong, but nothing stands out. Maybe a little more nut in that one. Okay, I am struggling to order these two in terms of nose. Make a last minute change. Okay, so this is my ranking just in terms of nose. This is just how they present. I haven't tasted any of them. This one is the richest. It draws me in. You take your spicing, like, when you like baking spices or, cinnamons, nutmegs, wood, oak char, and then it's like you put them together in a glaze, in something cooked into an apple pie or something. There's no apple in here really, but what I mean is it's when you take those individual pieces, you bring them together, and it creates a sort of more welcoming experience. This nose, whatever this is, blue, today is my favorite. Red is good, very tasty. Boy, these noses are very close. Green. Yeah, it's nice. It's just a little less expressive. It's just a little lighter. But down in there, there's still some good things going on. Today, that's my ranking in nose. Now, I'm going to try to taste them. I have to say, a blind at around 60% is really tough on my palate. So as I taste, I'm going to lose the ability to really distinguish between what's going on. Just want to say, if you want to know really what I'm getting at any one of these bottles, better to go back and check a review. I'm either going to cut or speed this up because it's going to be a lot of A/B, a lot of back and forth testing. But feel free to stick with me or go find a nice strong bourbon. And if you have one of these four, that would be the best. And then see if you can guess which one is in which glass. All right, diving in. Cheers. This, I think, is my locked-in preference. So we'll start with the bottom. This is green. You know, actually the nose brought out even more, a little bit of char and oak. A little bit of age almost. But in this market, in this place today, although I like that sip, it's probably my least favorite. Yellow has brighter yellow, brighter younger fruits. Ah, nice nose. You know, flavors are good and strong, but there's a slight bitterness. So it's more expressive than green, which is why I put it above it. But I'll tell you, there is a line of bitterness in there that's actually maybe pushing it back a little bit. Now this adds some fruit that I enjoy. This adds some cherry. Maraschino cherry. So not deep red Bing cherry, fruity, full fruit, dark fruit. Instead, it's like a sweeter, maraschino cherry. And I like that in bourbon. It also has a little bit of bitterness on the end of the finish, beginning of the finish, end of the palate. But I can live with it in the flavors that it adds. So this so far is the most approachable and most gentle. None of them are gentle of all of them up here, but I'm putting it back here because right now I'm really liking expressive bourbons. Now this one just brings it up one more notch. This is an enveloping, strong, bold nose. It doesn't actually have as much fruit as red. And I could trade places maybe on the nose. Oh. But that palate has what you're looking for in a big bourbon. Oak, char, nut on the edge of peanut. Some fruiting in there, butter, wrap it up, coating my mouth. I stand behind that order. So today, I think, I've forgotten my nose order. Go back and check. But this is how I would prefer them. Many of them, all of them have their strengths. All of them have a little bit of their weaknesses. This is my pick in order. Now let's get embarrassing. Let me try to pick what is what. So, I am going to say my pick is this Export 2019 Booker's. It's just everything. So, I'm going to say that's my first pick. Then, my bourbon pick of the year, I'm going to say is this one, Old Ezra. Okay, I didn't shift them much. Maybe that's power of suggestion. But I'm going to say this is my pick. Now, that kind of hurts me. I'm a bit of a Jim Beam fan, and Knob Creek Single Barrel continues to be crazy affordable, age stamp 9-year-old, or a store pick, and they're often older than that. If that is my last pick, actually I'll be a little bit sad. Let's find out. Oh, this is I don't know, this is pretty nerve-wracking. Okay, so, yellow. Yellow is 1920. Woohoo! Okay. Green is that knob. Knob. Oh, 2 for 2. Blue is Booker's. Oh, and red is Old Ezra. It's a clean sweep. Oh, I did not expect that. Genuinely did not expect that. Wow. Woo. Well, that calls for a celebratory toast, I think, that I picked each one. Wow. Now, having said that, if I was from memory, I would have put Knob Creek probably here. Probably as my second or even first. Nah, probably second. And like I might have even put Old Forester last, then Old Ezra, then Knob Creek, then Booker's. So the fact that Knob Creek is sitting on the end is actually a huge surprise for me. Huge surprise. The reason why I thought it might have been Knob is it's been open the longest, and maybe it's mental, but significantly. Like it's been open at least 6 months more than any other bottle up here. And because it was giving me these gentle vibes, which is crazy at 60%. That's why I put it on the end. Look, you guys, I'm so glad you could join me for this, and I hope I haven't bored you with it or put you off from any of these, any one of these. Like, will I buy another Knob Creek single barrel? Absolutely. I really love it. This was just today. This was just my picks. Today in the moment, what I'm getting. I say this for the last few videos because we are still going through our response to the COVID challenge pandemic. And I want to say again, I cannot be more thankful for all our first line responders, for all the nurses and doctors and healthcare professionals, for the people that are making good and solid decisions, and for all of those that are taking care of the unwell. I have continued to donate what I can. Same with food bank. There's a local food bank charity here, and I challenge you, if you have not been laid off, if you still have an income, please look for ways to give. So many of my friends, at least half, have been laid off. We're in a great country. I'm in Canada. We have good supports to help, but it's just not the same as working. And now is the time that we help each other, that we hopefully send medical equipment across any border to wherever the need is. I am definitely hoping that we are people first and country second. I can say that here because this all comes from America, neighbors to the south for me. And I have to say, you guys make fantastic whiskey. Thanks for sharing your bourbon so freely across the border with me. And I hope your families are well and that you just have a fantastic Saturday. Take care.